Today I am in Brighton, right on the southern edge of Britain. Actually, literally on the southern edge. I am at the coast in Saltdean, at the home of Bindi, Shah and Parmar. They are friends and our hosts on this Masala tour. And really, from the moment we stepped into this house, we felt something very different about the space. You know, it was very welcoming, very warm, and at the same time, there was right at the center of the house is this meditation room where Bindi teaches meditation and practices her yoga. You know, this idea of transparency, you know, the idea that we are what we think, what we eat, and we don't have anything to hide is something that we are trying to show through the Masala tour. And I felt very much at peace coming here, and I felt that their lives were very transparent and they didn't want to show a different face of them to others. And at the same time, you know, that the peace that was, the vibrations in this house were already kind of giving me that feel. So Bindi, tell me a little bit about the work that you do and you know, how your students react to it.
Well, here what I do is I teach meditation. So I do meditation classes, workshops, and I also do life coaching, and I bring in Ayurveda into it. So basically I try to get people to where they want to be in their life, to live the life they dream of, through diet, lifestyle with the Ayurveda, and also a lot with their mind, where they're going, a lot of awareness with the meditation. And so far to date, everyone seems to really love it. Wow!
So in a way, you're bringing the wisdom of India to the shores of Britain. And actually Brighton is seen very much as that kind of a city, an alternative city where people have a lot of energy in this area and interest in this area. And you know, I mean, it's quite amazing. I mean, what sacrifices have you had to make to do this?
Nothing, absolutely nothing. I mean, to live this life and to be able to do exactly what I want to do and to be basically loving what I do is just wonderful. And for me, it would be more of a sacrifice to be, you know, in a corporate job or in that type of situation. That would be a sacrifice of my values or where I want to be in life. So, yeah, nothing at all.
So you actually,
it's a dream, actually.
It's quite. You've actually found moksha.
We found our dream, definitely.
You found the Holy Grail. Wow, that's amazing, Jay. What do you think? I mean, you're a rock guitarist.
Yes.
That's something very different from the average Indian doctor or accountant or lawyer.
Yeah.
And yet the same, I feel the same with you. You know, that Bindi and you are both make a tremendous masala couple. And that you're both very much at ease with yourself, very much contented about what you do, and also at the same time very passionate about what you do.
Definitely, yeah. Music has been a big part of my life for many years, and I've had a previous life as a lawyer. I've done that, and I switched over to doing music about 4 years ago now, and never looked back. I absolutely love what I do. I'm extremely passionate about running my studio and being in there every day and working and teaching guitar there, and it's fantastic, and it is living the dream. I get to do what I love to do every single day, and it's fantastic. It's a better way of living for me than actually being, like Bindi said, being stuck in a corporate job where you might be earning a lot of money, but ultimately for me the satisfaction wasn't there in doing something like that. I needed more.
I mean, what I find about both of you is actually you have multiple talents each, you know, but at the same time when I talk to you, I get the impression that you don't, you know, it's just you know, you don't think that you are multi-talented, and in a way that diversity of talent, for example, Bindi is a dancer, you know, she's got a degree in surveying, she's fluent speaking in German. And both of you are excellent cooks, you have excellent DIY skills, you're a lawyer, a musician. I mean, You know, how big is your CV?
Huge.
Yeah, I guess between us, it's, you know,
A lot of skills and talents
3.5
between us.
inches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And
But we
then
don't, yeah, I would say we don't, it's just us. We don't, you know, say, oh wow, we've got all these skills or talents. We're just actually living life to the full and enjoying life, because how I feel is, you know, life is given to us for a purpose and for a reason. And if you can't make the most of your life, then really you're kind of not being grateful for that gift, for the gift of life.
Wow. I mean, you know, when people visit India, they come back thinking, wow, you know, I mean, it's so diverse, it's so varied, it kind of hits you at several levels, and it's almost like a multiple country. It's not one country, but it's multiple, you know, it's intense. And in a way, I see this in the Indian people I meet over here as well, that they have that multiple talent, they have these different sides to them and are able to negotiate, they're able to change, they're able to twist. They can almost get around barriers very instinctively, you know, they don't see barriers, or if they come across barriers, they pick up the confidence to go around them. And you seem to both have done that in your life, you know, in the way that you have developed your careers, in the way that right now what you're doing, you're kind of defining, you are setting your own standards rather than allowing others to dictate what you should do and how you should do it.
yeah.
Very much.
And is that a very liberating feeling? How does that feel?
Something I learned from Bindi a long time ago is that you have to live to your values, to your own values, not everybody else's values or society's values. So you've got to find that inner peace and inner contentment in everything that you do personally. So I think that's what we're striving for, and that's what we gained here, you know, from the move to being by the sea. You know, I always had a vision of living this close to the sea, to having that view out the back window and enjoying it every day and doing the music and being really, really happy with where we are.
I can only imagine that if you feel this way, then the output of your work would be equally important. I mean, so for example, your music would bring peace to the person listening to it, and your meditation CD that you're working on right now, I can imagine when it goes out, it will bring peace and peace of mind to so many people who listen to that music. But also being a student of yours, I can just imagine what it would be like. Again, because of you know, you living the life that you're talking about.
Yes.
You know, I don't know how many teachers can say that they are actually very passionate about what they are teaching and that they believe in it very strongly. Many of them probably see it as a job, you know, as something that you do kind of thing. But here you are. So tell me a little bit more about that. I mean, how?
Well, for me personally, the music is it's very much a journey, just like life. You know, it's got to take you somewhere. So everything I write, everything that finally gets released, has to take the listener somewhere. So when I listen to it, you know, it's got to make me smile first of all. It's got to set that fire light inside of me and make me happy.
I mean, it's interesting, you got Jimi Hendrix on your t-shirt. So you're obviously open to taking music influences from anywhere in the world.
Oh, definitely.
And it doesn't have to be Indian, doesn't have to be British, it doesn't have to be white, doesn't have to be black, it can be anything. And you're just picking the best of it and trying to produce an album of your own.
Absolutely, yeah. It's bringing in influence from everywhere. I mean, Jimmy's a big influence. My biggest influence is my favourite guitar player, Shah, who's incidentally our friend as well. You know, just inspirational in music and life as well, and just from everywhere. You know, the Indian influence comes into my playing and my writing and recording. I've recently finished some guitar work, some very heavy guitar work for a hip hop act. You know, I've done bits of jazz, blues, recorded classical concerts, you know, live classical. So everything brings in its little bit of influence, and you know, but that's what makes it an interesting palette. You know, when you listen to it, it doesn't just sound like something you pick off the shelf.
What's your message to, you know, you really make a couple, you know, you really, there is that feeling that you're together, you have a sense of harmony about yourself. What's your message to Masala couples out there? You know, marriage is a problem in modern society. You know, there are lots of marriages breaking up, marriages which are surviving very often are stressful, they are tense, there is animosity, etc, etc, and you know, there is a problem about marriage itself, about a husband and wife living together. What's your message to them?
Yeah, what's your message?
I would say the best thing, or probably the main thing, would be communication, listening, you know, talking things over, and really that kind of active communication, really, really important. And trying to understand things from the other person's point of view, so not going at everything just from your experiences, or, you know, I would say actually this would go for any relationship, so not even just marriage, but friendships, parents, children, but trying to think of things from the other person's point of view. So rather than just putting across your point with your background and your experiences, trying to think, well, what's their background, what are their experiences been, you know, why do they think of that thing like that? I mean, a really classic example that I use with my coaching and with the meditation is that if everyone looked out at the sea, so there were like 5 of us looking out at the sea, everyone would have a different perception of what they saw. So some people would maybe concentrate more on the waves, some people might see the boat, some people might see the birds, but everyone would have a different view that they would see. So it's the same, you know, with life. Everyone has a different view of life that they see. So if you try to understand arguments or disagreements from the other person's point of view, you can actually come to an agreement pretty quickly, because you can just kind of stand away from what you're thinking and feeling.
What about you, Jay? What's your message to Masala couples out there?
It's like Bindi said, it's empathizing with people and seeing it from their viewpoint as well. Again, the music example, when 5 different people listen to the same song, they'll hear something different in it. It's the same song, it's the same picture. So
what you're saying is be creative about the relationship as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And also tolerance, you know,
Yeah.
you've got to be understanding and flexible about things, and tolerant of other people, because we all grow up with our own, you know, inbuilt little foibles and ways of doing things, and it may not necessarily be how our partners do it, but it doesn't mean that they're doing it incorrectly.
I think just remember, yeah, and just remember the love you feel. You don't, you know, hold back from the love you feel, and then just try to bring that kind of understanding into it as well.